Hey, it's me, Vicki Marie. And good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm in mainland Spain. It is 17 minutes past 8 in the evening, and I've just finished work literally 17 minutes ago. Now, I wasn't going to go live tonight because basically, I'm really tired. I've still got a lot things going on. I've done a lot of classes today. But now I think this is a major development in the Sebastian Rogers case, of which there's been no developments, has there, recently, except for drama with stupid YouTubers, in my eyes, arguing with each other, getting themselves arrested, getting restraining orders put on them because of harassing Chris and Katie Proudfoot. With no reason, no evidence, nothing, but just deciding that they've done something, interfering with the police investigation, really, if you think about it that way. So, excuse my voice, I've been talking all day. I've done class after class. I've done a video this morning. So my voice is on its last legs, as you may see. So I'm trying to sort of make it better with a nice cold drink. But yeah, big development. Now I thought it was something strange yesterday, because you may or may not know that Seth, Sebastian's biological father, he has a YouTube channel. And let's have a look at it, because yesterday, so he's got this YouTube channel, Seth R. Rogers, Sebastian's father, and this, it is quite sweet or sad, whatever. Sebastian Wayne will be found and returned to me. My son is my grace, and God protect my child during this ordeal. He joined in June, on June the 7th, so not that long ago. Probably this was to do with Tony Mathis. Phony Tony's been a bad influence on Seth, in my opinion. But in another way, I think it's right that he's created his own YouTube channel rather than appearing on all these other YouTube channels, then falling out with the YouTubers. He's done some sort of weird and wonderful things, hasn't he, over the time that Sebastian's been missing, which, in another way, you might think, well, yeah, if your son goes missing, then you are going to act strangely. What's the right way to act, really? Anyway, yesterday, 17 hours ago, he'd put this post on his community. It isn't about the lack of humanity. It is about evil versus good. Major Tim, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, informed me today when I called him about Sebastian that they have information on the case, but they don't feel like sharing it with me today. He said they will share that information tomorrow. Why does my son have to wait until tomorrow? He is important to me every day, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. When will they going to remember they are supposed to protect and serve the people and stop serving themselves? And when I saw this yesterday, I thought, oh, what a strange thing to say, because are they serving themselves? Is he saying that they don't care about Sebastian or about finding Sebastian? Because I don't believe that about the police at all. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office, they'd love to find Sebastian. Of course they would, because they're under a lot of pressure over it. But, it's always been the same with Seth and the police department. Originally, he said they weren't even letting him know any information, but of course he was going on all these YouTube channels and talking, so maybe they felt that they couldn't give him information. Anyway, that's what I saw yesterday, and I thought, oh, That's strange. And then this morning, so let's cross over now to JLR's channel. Sorry, let me just say hello to people. I always forget. Hi, David. Hi, Mello. I think there's a lot going on here. I would just want to say hello to people that are watching at home as well, and hello to people on replay crew, because this was a very spontaneous live. I only saw the information about the reward about half an hour ago, and I was in class and I thought, oh, I need to talk about that. I think they do know a lot more. There's some very straight, but what do they know? You know, this is the problem. This is such a mysterious case. And this part of me, after, you know, I don't feel that Katie had anything to do with Sebastian disappearing, Chris, or Seth. But he's somewhere. Somebody's done something. And now the FBI, who everyone was complaining earlier, oh, they need to give it to the FBI to sort out. Seems like the FBI were dealing with it. They've come out with this huge reward. Now, remember, there was no reward for Sebastian, not from his parents even. You know, so it's all been odd, hasn't it, from the beginning? So what do the FBI know? Anyway, I'm just going to pass over to JLR's Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Now, JLR, I've been watching a couple of his videos recently about like Seth lashes out, Tony's arrest warrant. You know, he's done a few. Oh, here's another one. There's a real thing now. Like JLR started off. If people don't know, JLR is a YouTuber that's got it's got about 270,000 subscribers now. So a very popular YouTuber. And he originally started off doing a lot for Seth, but then Seth seemed to fall out with everybody, didn't he? You know, and all this is the person that's looking after him now, Tony. Well, I like to call him Phony Tony, but I want to call him Creepy Tony. So he literally gives me the chills when I look at him, this man. So JLR, he's got very down on Tony, and he's released this video on his ex. This is Tony.
To Bellevue, but we work the entire national.
Is this Tony Mathis directing people for the cameras? He's got his hand on Seth Rogers, then he gets this woman to join in, and yeah, is it all staged? Now, I find Tony a very interesting character. What are his motives? I don't believe for 1 minute this man is getting involved for the goodness of his heart. I just don't believe it. There's something about this man that I can't put my finger on. I don't want to put my finger on. Certainly don't want to put my finger. I don't want to put my finger on his button mushroom that he was flashing on TikTok. He's a very strange. What is his motive, you know? Anyway, let's just watch this.
To Bellevue, but we work the entire Nashville area. We're actually work the tri-state area. And our focus is on parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism. And our main goal is through the playbook that we've created through the hell and the worry and just the Bellevue, but we work the entire Nashville area. We're actually work the tri-state area. And our focus is on parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism. And our main goal is through the playbook that we've created through the hell and the worry and just the Bellevue, but we work the entire Nashville area. We're actually work the tri-state area. And our focus is on parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism. And our main goal is through the playbook that we've created through the hell. And
so this was the ride for Sebastian on Saturday. Well, you know, support is waning now for Seth because of this strange way that he's acted, which is sad. If Seth genuinely has not done anything, and he's just missing his son. He always calls him my son, but it's not just his son, it's Katie's son as well. So, but he's so anti-Katie. And then, of course, all these things came out that he's so much older than Katie, and it seems like he actually groomed Katie. So, I don't want to get into all that, but then, so that was the rally. I think that was Saturday night. Oh, no, that was Saturday. Oh, this was a protest.
And Neil, Sebastian's father, Seth, says he's been told they'll receive new information on the investigation today. Meanwhile, the rally is happening at the same time this morning as the county plans to name an interim sheriff, filling the vacant position. This appointed officer will hold the position until a special vote happens in the November general election. Family and those close to this case say they want to keep the investigation alive and hope finding Sebastian will stay a priority under new leadership. There's been no sign of Sebastian since his disappearance, but his father says he does believe he is alive and he continues to search for him. Sebastian is 5'5", 120 pounds with dirty blonde hair. Any information, call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or 1-800-TB.
Dirty blonde hair, just like Madeline Soto. Don't think I like that expression.
Find. We will be at the rally this morning and we'll share the latest information on News 2 at 11. And Neil, Sebastian's father, Seth, says he's been told
this was supposedly a protest outside the police station this morning. This is what JLR jumped on to say. It's a protest, not a rally. The organisers made it clear they're protesting at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to clear Seth Rogers' name. And remember, we talked about that in the last video I did about Sebastian. How they can't clear his name, can they? Until it's found out what happened to him. How can they clear anyone's name? It's probably a question of nobody's a suspect, but nobody is cleared until they find out what happened to him. Anyway, then there's that video. This is apparently the protest. JLR said only 10 people showed up. So, I don't know. I don't know what that was actually about. And then, of course, let me go back to actually stop sharing now because I'm coming back to do this. Oh, hi, Carl. Is it? Yeah, mellow. I think dark blonde is better. Hi, Carl. Did you go, or do you know that from what you've seen on videos? Anyway, now let's have a look at this. So this is what suddenly the FBI have come out with. The FBI have come out with the missing person. $50,000 reward offered for Sebastian Drake Rogers now. Let's have a look at it on their website. The FBI most wanted. I tell you, this case just gets crazier and crazier, doesn't it? Now, where's the thing with the, hang on. Right, here it is. So suddenly, after everyone moaning and saying, oh, the FBI should be dealing with it, why is the FBI not dealing with it? Looks like they were always dealing with it, or have they just started dealing with it? So they've put out this 50, that's a big difference between zero reward and 50,000. It's not, I remember with the Rachel Marin case, I think it started off at 20,000, then it was 25, 30, I think it went up to 35,000. But to go from zero, I think I'm going to subscribe to their email alerts. Oh, I'll do that again. because you have to do, but I'm going to subscribe to their email alerts. Yeah, to go from $0 to $50,000. Strange, isn't it? Hair blonde or brown. Either light brown, dirty blonde, whichever way you want to look at it. Eyes brown or hazel. Height 5'5". Weight 120 pounds. Sex male. Race white. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And then it says Rogers has ties to Clarksville, Tennessee. Well, that's not where he went missing from. He went missing from Hendersonville. And of course, it's his dad, Seth, who lives in Clarksville. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was last seen on February the 26th, 2024, in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and black square frame glasses. Sebastian has medical conditions, including autism, that may impair his ability to return safely without assistance. So if you have any information, this you can find out on the FBI website. How to let them know. You can submit an anonymous tip. I think this is a big development. Is this the development they meant when they told Seth they did have a development, but they didn't want to tell him about it? Is this it? What is the development? I haven't seen that picture of Sebastian before either. Very strange. I mean, what do you think? Don't you think it's a big change in this inquiry to go from zero offered as a reward to 50,000? Oh, you live in Indiana, Carl. Yeah, I wonder if they are setting a trap. You know, are they trying to get someone to talk by offering this much money? Hi, Jojo. Sorry, did I say hello to you? I can't remember. Sorry, I hope I did. And is it because they think he's alive, or are they thinking he's not alive, but some foul play's befallen him, but they're trying to lure someone out? Maybe Tony. Maybe they'll lure him out into the open. Not that I think he did anything to Sebastian, but he might know something by now. It's very strange, I think. Now, let's just have a look at a video about it. Just a news video. Where are we? Oh, let me just put a couple of windows down. Right, the Chihuahua's out again. I'm just going to put the dog in the bathroom because that Chihuahua won't stop and she'll just bark. She's already on her way to the bathroom, she knows. Well, but I just really don't understand how you can have a dog that barks constantly like that Chihuahua does and never tell it to shut up. Anyway, okay, so now I had a video ready to show you. Let's find it. God, things just disappear on my computer. It's weird. Is it gone? Right. Can't get it up now. Try again. Right, here it is.
Information now on the search for missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers. This morning, the FBI announced they're offering a $50,000 reward for information in the case. The 15-year-old was last seen at his home in Hendersonville 6 months ago today. Peyton Kennedy has been reporting on this case from the very beginning. She is live now outside the Sumner County Courthouse, where a group has gathered to keep Sebastian's name top of mind. Peyton.
And Nicole, when this group learned about that $50,000 reward, they cheered and said progress like that is what they have been pushing for. The FBI is asking for information leading to the location and return of Sebastian or the conviction and arrest of those responsible for his disappearance. Right now, there are about 15 people outside the Sumner County Courthouse who are advocates for bringing Sebastian home. They prayed together and are standing with signs showing Sebastian's Amber Alert, calling themselves Sebastian's Army. This case has captured the local community and the nation. I spoke with a woman who has a true crime social media platform and has been following Sebastian's story like so many. She says she's worried the focus has moved away from Sebastian and strayed into drama, but she's hopeful that this reward will bring more details to light.
I think there's a lot of attention, but not in the right positive way.
Oh, I thought she was in prison. Or is it, oh, she was arrested at this, was she, what? I thought, well, so like my head's scrambled now. I thought she was arrested at the motorcycle vigil. Or is she out now? Is she out already?
It seems clear to a lot of people that this child didn't just walk out of his house and he didn't just disintegrate in thin air. And our opinions are that a few people have more information than what they're saying. And, you know, we're.
So she's doing it again. Now, she may be right. It could turn out that Chris and Katie have been behind Sebastian's disappearance. It could turn out that way. But I don't think really you're allowed to, you know, go on air, go on the news, and you shouldn't be allowed to do it even on your YouTube channel. But I suppose that's a bit different from going on sort of mainstream news and basically accusing them.
We're keeping that also in the spotlight.
If you have any information, you can call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or 1-800-TBI-FIND, as well as your local FBI office.
Now, I'm just going to watch that again, that video, because does anybody know, is Bullshit Betty, as I call her, is Bullhorn Betty still in prison? Was that before she was arrested? Oh my God, just when you think this case can't get any weirder, it gets weirder.
Information now on the search for missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers. This morning, the FBI announced they're offering a $50,000 reward for information in the case. The 15-year-old was last seen at his home in Hendersonville 6 months ago today. Peyton Kennedy has been reporting on this case from the very beginning. She is live now outside the Sumner County Courthouse, where a group has gathered to keep Sebastian's name top of mind. Peyton.
And Nicole, when this group learned about that $50,000 reward, they cheered and said progress like that is what they have been pushing for. The FBI is asking for information leading to the location and return of Sebastian or the conviction and arrest of those responsible for his disappearance. Right now, there are about 15 people outside the Sumner County Courthouse who are advocates for bringing Sebastian home. They prayed together and are standing with signs showing Sebastian's Amber Alert, calling themselves Sebastian's Army. This case has captured the local community and the nation. I spoke with a woman who has a true crime social media platform and has been following Sebastian's story like so many. She says she's worried the focus has moved away from Sebastian and strayed into drama, but she's hopeful that this reward will bring more details to light.
I think there's a lot of attention, but not in the right positive way. It seems clear to a lot of people that this child didn't just walk out of his house and he didn't just disintegrate in thin air. And our opinions are that a few people have more information than what they're saying. And, we're keeping that also in the spotlight.
If you have any information, you can call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or 1-800-TBI-FIND, as well as your local FBI office. Live in Gallatin, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
Wow. Wow. So the thing is, Bullhorn Betty, she's out of, she's been bailed now, has she? I can't keep up with this case, honest to God. Unfortunately, I do have to work. So, I sometimes sort of miss events that are going on. I try and keep up with it along with the other cases. It's very interesting about Seth because if you watch my channel on a regular basis, when this case all first started, let me just put the picture up of Sebastian while I'm talking about him. When this case first started, I was always suspicious of Seth. I didn't like the way he was going on YouTube all the time and slagging off Katie and Chris. Maybe he had reason to do it. And then, although, of course, it all came out about Seth. Seth's got past. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having a past. I've got a past. I mean, not grooming minors, but, we've all done things in our lives that we'd probably, looking back, we'd probably think, oh, we wish we hadn't done it. I've still got the divorce. In fact, I've never gone through because I worried about Seth, because at the end of the day, he is a grieving father, supposedly, because his son's gone missing. But I've had the divorce papers, Seth's divorce papers, for months. And I've always thought, oh, I'll go through them. But I didn't like to, because I didn't like to rub salt in the wound. And he doesn't come out very glowing in these divorce papers. But we have to remember they are divorce papers. So they're not going to say what a fantastic guy he is, because, people that are having a divorce, that's just not what happens, is it? But some of the things in it, they're like really quite worrying, I think, in various ways about Seth. So I've never been like a big Seth, I've never felt like it must be Chris and Katie and Seth is like, whiter than white. He had all the sympathy, didn't he, in the beginning? And him losing the sympathy, it's only been of his own doing. Everyone was on his side in the beginning. And Katie and Chris, they were like the pariahs. And Seth was like, the poor dad, until we started to find out exactly more details. And I still don't, if Seth hasn't done anything, I've got nothing against Seth. I don't even know him. But somebody knows what's happened to this boy, unless he has come to a mishap. Now, I don't know if you've seen them. Maybe I'll cover that. I can't go into things too much tonight because, to be perfectly honest, I'm really tired. I haven't had my dinner yet. And I just can't do it. I've got to have something to eat, and then I'll probably go to bed. And then in the morning, I'll be fresher to do more in depth about this. But you may have seen there's been at least 2 cases recently that have been in the news of autistic boys that have sort of done a runner and unfortunately been found deceased. So is this something that people with autism do? I don't know. But so that's the other thing that might have happened to Sebastian, is he's just decided to go off. He's come to some mishap, may not be foul play, maybe just an accident, but It's surprising that they haven't found him so far, really. You know, in that case, they've searched a landfill site, they've searched ponds. You know, they have searched for him, and supposedly Seth and his followers, when he had any, when you look at the videos from like right back at the beginning compared to what happened at the vigil on Saturday, the difference in support. But you know what? He's only brought that on himself. He's his own worst enemy. And when he got Tony the phony involved, that was like the kiss of death for his support, I think. Because Tony does not come over as genuine, and you just cannot work out what is his his reason for getting involved in this. Does he see money in it, or maybe he's just enjoying the publicity, the notoriety? Now, I watched a video on JLR talking about Tony. He's unearthed all sorts of things. There's a real vendetta going on between JLR and Tony. But having said that, the things that JLR has unearthed, they're real things. You know, he's been sued by a church, he's been sued by a school, he's gone bankrupt, he owes money left, right and centre. He's been sued by loads of different people. And if he's not careful, he'll be sued by JLR soon, because we know how JLR likes to sue people. But, you know, what is his motive? What is Tony Mathis getting out of this whole thing? Because he's not a person who would be doing it unless there was something in it for him. You know, there's got to be something. And it could be just he enjoys being in the limelight. Could just be that. Could be as simple as that. You know, maybe likes talking to the young girls on TikTok and flashing his button mushroom or whatever. You know, it's all... Since he got involved, Seth's support has plummeted, and also Seth has cut ties himself with people who previously supported him, like JLR, like quite a lot of the YouTubers that don't want to know now. Then he was, you know, putting out cease and desist letters. He's saying that he wants more publicity for Sebastian, but he was doing all the wrong things, you know, to create publicity or positive publicity, you know, because the YouTube world, you know, I know YouTubers that you know, say, oh, they're doing it for clicks or they're doing it, well, maybe in a way they are, but at the end of the day, if your son was missing, you would want publicity, better publicity than nothing, you know, where nobody's interested. And it's funny, just as support for Seth has waned so much, suddenly the FBI come out with this. And you might be right, Carl, it may be that when Betty was in prison for those couple of days or whatever, maybe she has been saying this, that, or the other. Maybe she does know something more than we know. You know, it's just a case that gets more and more complicated, doesn't it? Exactly, Shelley. And that was what I was saying in the last video that I did with Bullhorn Betty getting arrested. It's all become about the drama. And I'm glad that the FBI have done this, because it brings us back to the fact that this boy is missing. He's 15 years old. He's autistic. He left the house in his bare feet, apparently. You know, so I don't know. So could be Seth. Seth could be behind it all. I had a dream about Sebastian quite a while ago now. I did dream, you know, it's funny because sometimes I have these dreams, but I dreamt that Sebastian was okay. He was being looked after. In fact, I dreamt that I was looking after him. So that made me feel like the dream I represented maybe an older woman in his family or whatever. But I did dream that. I dreamt he was fine. I hope that's okay. Maybe because he was playing his PlayStation, maybe, or whatever he plays, Xbox, whatever. Maybe he's playing that in, on the next plane. Maybe he isn't okay. But I had a very vivid dream about him. Bless him. I hope he is okay. Hope he is. Do you know what? I hope he is okay somewhere. I hope Seth has taken him, because at least that would mean he would be safe. So, Shelley, you don't believe JLR? Well, he's got bee in his bonnet about this case, hasn't he? He's got a real bee in his bonnet about Tony Mathis and Seth. But the trouble is, you get to a point where you think, because the actual, official people like the FBI or the TBI or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, because the officialdom aren't saying anything. Maybe deliberately they're not saying anything, letting them all fight between themselves. Because the trouble is that when you're not getting any official information, all this other crap comes out, and who knows where the truth is? Who knows? Maybe Bullhorn Betty is spot on with what she's saying, or maybe not. Maybe JLR is spot on with what he's saying. Maybe Seth is spot on. We just don't know. And David, hello. I do think, there's so much more going on. But don't forget, nobody is a suspect. So not only Katie and Chris, they're not suspects, have not been named as suspects anyway. Seth hasn't been named as a suspect. Nobody's been cleared, if you like, but nobody's been named as a suspect. So, yeah, don't you think, though, this is a big thing? I think this is a big thing, this, the FBI coming out and saying this. They're doing it for a reason. If they spend all this time not offering a reward, in fact, not even being involved, supposedly, then just suddenly, boom, $50,000 reward. There's a reason for that. That hasn't just happened accidentally. So, yeah. David, I don't know. Literally spent most of this case saying, I don't know. I stepped back from it a while ago when all the drama just got ridiculous. And it was like, I don't know what Seth, how does Tony Mathis come into this? He just inveigled himself in, but Seth seems to be happy to have him around. He seems to be happy with him. I've got to admit, when Tony Mathis first got involved, I didn't think he would last 5 minutes, because Seth has got history in getting rid of people who are helping him. But Tony, he's still there. He's still there, and he's been there a while. So what is going on? What is going on? That's right. Well, they I don't think they've been named as suspects. That's what I mean. I know that they've not been cleared. So, but the FBI or the police department, they haven't come out and said such and such is a suspect, or even a person of interest. But they haven't said, oh, they're definitely cleared. It's very odd, isn't it? Because supposedly Chris was at work. Supposedly it's verified. Supposedly Seth was at work. Supposedly it's verified. But of course that doesn't stop getting somebody else to get involved, does it? Katie, of course, she's the only one without an alibi. She was there at the house. She's got to be sort of prime suspect, really, because she was the last person to see him. That's like just how it is, isn't it? The last person to see someone before they disappear is normally the person that's got something to do with their disappearance. But Katie has not been charged with anything. You know, she supposedly passed lie detector tests. Her and Chris are supposedly paid for billboards to be put on, to be put up to search for Sebastian. Yeah, I don't know how that house was set up. I mean, it looked like a nice house, but I don't know how it was set up. I'm sure, listen, I do feel that Sebastian really, I don't feel like he had a bad life, because they seem to take him a lot of places and this, that and the other. But of course, we don't know all the ins and outs of his life. Also, you have to remember, it's not easy looking after an autistic boy. There might be things that they did that we would think, oh, God, fancy doing that. But there may have been reasons for them, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to get to speak to Chris and Katie, you know, like to get my own view on it. I've watched them being interviewed. I don't get a feeling that they've done anything to him. But then, you know what? What do I know? What do I know? That's it. We don't, you know, we don't know. There's so much that we don't know. You know, you'd have to speak to someone directly, because, you know, Seth, he's only got bad things to say about Katie. But what he has to remember is, Sebastian was living with Katie. You know, Seth hardly saw him. He's making all this big thing out about being his dad and this, that, and the other. And I've read those divorce papers, and he wasn't very nice to Sebastian, I can tell you now. You know, he wasn't nice to Sebastian himself. I feel like in some ways nobody was nice to Sebastian, but well, I hope he's alive somewhere. I hope he is alive. I hope somebody has got him hidden somewhere. Sooner or later, it's got to come out. I mean, what is their end game? You know, if that is, you know, if Seth has hidden Sebastian away, let's suppose he has. We don't know that he has. I'm not saying he has. I'm just saying, supposing he has. What's the end game? You know, what's he going to, you know, sooner or later, Sebastian's got to come out of the cupboard. You know what I mean? He can't stay in the cupboard forever. He can't stay in wherever house he is forever. What is the, what's the exit strategy for this, if it is true that Seth's got him, you know? But I personally hope he has got him, because that will mean he's still alive. Okay, that's all I've got for you tonight, because that's as far as we know. But of course, it's daytime in America now, so who knows what might happen. It feels like every day something happens. So who knows what might happen as the day goes on. But let's always remember, let's say a prayer for Sebastian, light a candle for Sebastian, and hope that somewhere, somehow, he is still alive, and that he hasn't, no harm has befallen him, either from foul play or accident, because there are lots of things that could have happened to him. So we've just got to hope and pray that this $50,000 is a massive amount of money, isn't it, to someone? So who's going to come forward? Who's going to come forward? If there is something, who's going to come forward? To be somebody sat there right now who maybe knows something, either it was an accident, either it was foul play, or either that, you know, Seth had something to do with it, or somebody else, somebody maybe knows, and they'll be watching that and thinking, what I can do with $50,000. So if it's possible to give the information, I think somebody will. Okay, so yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be difficult. It wouldn't be difficult to get somebody to do it. You know, just I'm talking to take him away, not to kill him. Wouldn't be difficult, would it? So it's a real mystery. It's a real mystery. So we've got people on opposite sides in the chat. I can see that. Well, listen, we all have our views. We all have our views. I haven't got a view, to be honest. I'm totally confused with this case. I never trusted Seth from the beginning, but I think it was just, I didn't like him, and I feel that's borne out by reading the divorce papers and things he's done to Sebastian and done to Katie. The fact that she was probably only about 12 or 13 when he started a relationship with her. Things like that make me at least feel justified that I felt a bit icky about Seth. But that's not the same as, thinking he's done something to Sebastian. But as I say, I hope he has got Sebastian. I hope he's got him, because if he's got him and he's safe, that's better than the alternative. So. Okay, right. Now play nice in chat. So you just have to, if you don't agree with each other, that's fine. You just have to, we all have our views, don't we? That's part of the mystique of YouTube, isn't it? That we can have our views, but not be nasty to each other. Okay, so I've got to go. I've got to go and eat something. Do you know, if something comes on in the middle of the night and I see it, I will get, but I've got to have a little sleep because I've been up since God knows what time this morning, and I decided to take my dogs to the beach, and oh my God, I just had a disaster. I'm not even going to go into it. Anyway, it's all okay now. Just another drama. I've got enough drama in my life, to be honest, without worrying about other people's lives. So prayers for Sebastian. I hope he's okay. Please, please, God, let Sebastian be okay. Let him be found soon. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always, always go with you. I'll put my little video on if I can find it. Take care. Thanks for watching.